We still have 2 minutes to go.
Never known it in F3.
Yeah, even Boy is here. Meanwhile, in F4, I'm just reading Flex don't start yet, he's having a shit.
Oh dear. And with that, everyone, good evening and welcome to FRL F1 2021. It is F3, it is Season 6, it is Round 16, the season finale of the championship as we take in the Brazilian Grand Prix from the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache in Brazil here in Interlagos. My name is James Head, of course, going to be taking you to the stream as always on a Monday night, and joining me in the government books as per last week, it is Mr. T-Hawk. T-Hawk, how you doing?
I'm okay, I'm alive.
Excited for the action tonight? No championship decider apart from the constructors.
Yeah, so no, not really excited. Championship is done, I'm just here to try and get this over with.
I don't blame you.
Obviously I'm excited. We still have a lot to play for in the championship. We talked about it earlier. 31 points, but Aston Martin is behind Mercedes and Alpine another, 43 points they're behind? Or 42?
Yeah, 43 points. Yeah, Mercedes 275, Aston Martin 244, Alpine third 232. Championship permutations are basically if Mercedes outscore both Aston Martin and Alpine, no matter how many points they pick up jointly, they will win the championship. Aston Martin need 32 points, so that's basically first and sixth position in terms of the permutations for them to win the championship. And then Alpine third, 232, they've got a bit of an uphill climb to do, but they can still do it. They're mathematically still in contention. 43 points, 44 points in fact they need. So basically, that is pole position, well, no, not pole position, it is first, second, fastest lap, and that, pretty much all season, has been very much impossible.
And without Mercedes scoring any points as well, in order to catch up.
Yeah, and Aston Martin don't need to. Aston Martin basically don't need to pick up any points either. Not sure what's going on, but it looks like everyone's readying up. By the looks, yeah. I think.
God, we're on time. What a miracle!
Oh, it's just changed. Terrible. I'm gonna put out a message to the F3 guys because I normally get reminded. Just give me a second.
We're already ready up.
There we go.
Good to go. Yeah.
So they need the official confirmation that they can ready up. Everyone's here, so yeah, may as well ready up on time. Only a minute late, it's not too bad. Probably the earliest I think we've been all season, to be honest, here in F3 tonight. To remind you, of course, what happened last week in Mexico. We were in last week. It was a great race again in Mexico. It was Ivo, of course, who took the win. He took the championship win along with that as well. Fantastic win from him. Cassidy in the end in second, and Rackler in the end in third. He kept that podium after, of course, putting in the appeal. He does, however, as a result of something that happened earlier on in the season, or I think last week, he has got a qualifying ban for tonight. He can go out, though, out on track and set basically an out lap and then lock his setup in and then retire in the pit lane. So Rackler can do that. Also qualifying bans, I believe Traffic Arigos has got one, however he's not here tonight. And there is another one, I believe. I can't remember off the top of my head who it is.
Let's see, I'm gonna check really quickly because I'm just in the Stewart chat and I'm gonna be rooting for Scar. He just shown a picture of one of his favorites watching. Absolutely adorable. Let's see, Stewart reports. Traffic Algo, Rackler, and Mr. Merckx.
And is Mr. Merckx here? I think he might be.
In the Alpha Tauri, yes he is. And one thing that I noticed, a lot of those guys, nobody has left the pits yet.
Yeah,
Are they making some setup changes for that race potentially?
No, I'm stuck on session will start in 0. There we go, there's the 18 minutes just started. I was waiting as well. Jesse is retired, so he's going last the first challenge, clearly. However, though, if somebody gets disqualified from the session, that might actually mean he starts ahead of the driver. That might necessarily disqualify themselves out on track tonight. Hopefully nobody does that. It is F3 after all. It's the final race of the season. Nothing really to lose, perhaps a lot to gain in terms of the constructors. Hopefully it's going to be a really good night, and I can see certainly some of the tyre choices that have been put on at this stage. Yuri, the only man that looks like going for a set of medium compounder tyres, he selected that in his pit box. Don't be surprised if they change those as we go, as I think a Haas is the first man out on track, and it is no, it's Yuri actually, the Williams, who's the first man out on track. Yeah. He is indeed.
Yeah. Oh god.
Not sure if my headset's just gone funny.
You fix your headset. I'm not sure if the mediums are going to be good in qualifying around here, because it is a very fast track, and in the infield you need a lot of tire grip. And I don't know, what is the delta between the softs and the mediums? Is it like 7, 8, 10, something like that, I think?
Yeah, it's somewhere around that. I mean, I normally think mediums to softs anywhere between 8/10 and a second, to be honest, and I've seen even drivers go 1.2 seconds quicker than their lap times around here, so will be interesting to see what drivers can do in terms of their laps. Yuri was the first man on track. Little Brookie, though, is the first man out on track. He is the Haas, of course, the Brit on the run up the hill, in through the Sabidos dos boxes at turn 13, and then on the run down in towards turn number 1, of course, around the kink, famously where Alonso crashed, remember, in 2003 after hitting a tyre wall at 150 mile an hour in terms of that collision. Hopefully nobody doing that tonight. Little Brookie coming through the left-hander of turn 1, through the centre rest of turn 2, and then to the left-hander of turn number 3. Track limits, of course, will be watched as they come down the Retro Aposta in towards Cedar de Largo, and Little Brookie on the run through the first sector. 17 flat, not a bad first sector actually from the Brit, coming through the left-hander of turn 4. Just about keeps that validated. Goodness me, he was wide through there. Is he going to back off his lap, though? I don't think he is. He's still committed on this lap so far.
Yeah, I think he's just setting a banker. He isn't really attacking the inside curbs that much. Obviously, the inside curbs around this track, especially here in the infield, are very, very wide, so you can take a lot of it as he's taking an interesting line across the grass. I think he's just trying to get in the banker right now, try to get a safe lap in, because it is quite easy to run a little bit wide, maybe cut a corner a little bit too much. As he has a 52 flat in the second sector. So what kind of lap time is this going to be? Maybe like a 1:11?
1:08.
Maybe? 1:10, 1:11?
1:08. Coming across the line. Yeah, 1:08.6. Little Brookie does quickest for now. We're going to see, though, a lot more times being said. I would imagine Ivor's out on track, by the way, the championship leader. He's coming through the middle sector. He's got GTA Gamer just in front of him, as there's a very wide Mercedes actually coming through that camera angle at turn number 11, as Little Brookie is still out on top. Plenty of drivers, I think, invalidating their first laps. Dakes, though, comes to the line. That's more like it in terms of the lap times. Yeah, 1:07.3. Maciel there in second as well, 1:07.4. Really getting to see Ivor looks like he could be going quicker than everyone else out on track, as Ivor now comes towards the line, and he does go quicker by around 3600ths of a second. It's Ivor out on top, it's Stakes in second, Michael there in third. Rackler has retired from the session, that is back into the pit lane. I believe he actually didn't set a lap, so Rackler, obviously with that qualifying ban, in the pit lane, and obviously he's put his setup on, and he's back in the pits to retire.
Yeah, they're putting in 1:07s. I could have sworn that last season it was something like a 1:10, it was the fastest time. Or am I thinking about the race?
You might have been dreaming it.
I think I just had the fastest lap from the race in mind and forgot that this is a rather short track with 1:07, so yeah, I absolutely butchered my prediction with Bookie's lap time. I apologize for that. Talking about predictions, top 3 for qualifying.
Top 3 for qualifying. Now, I was going to put Ivo maybe top. I was really unsure, as we spoke before the stream, if he was actually going to go last the first challenge like Jesse was. But Ivo, there, in first position, I'm going to keep him in first position, I think. Second position, I am going to go for Ruben. I've just noticed that Sadio Mano's not here, by the way, fourth in the championship. Ruben, I think, for second. And in third... Oh, God. Bakes.
Not bad. I would have gone for something fairly similar. I would have also picked either Ivo or VIP GTA Gamer for pole, and then potentially one of the Alpines third, maybe Ruben. So I think Ivo, VIP and Ruben could be in the top 3. VIP on the mediums right now, but he's validated his lap time wise also on the mediums. He's gonna set a lap time. He had a 52.3 through the second sector. So that should be somewhere around Van Dongen, I think. Yeah, so when Van Dongen, you can just see the difference between the mediums and the softs. Scuba Steve right now the fastest guy on the mediums, but still more than a second away from the top runner Ivo.
Yeah, Ruben's coming through the middle sector. 51.6 in the middle sector is not too bad. Considering little Brookie who set a 58 through there, that is not a 58? No, I got that wrong. 52 he set around the middle sector. Goodness me, I'm not making him that slow. Look, Ruben though toward the line. Don't think he's going to go toward the top end of the field here to 108.3. He goes around 0.3 per second quicker than little Brookie. Van Dongen there, as you mentioned, on that set of soft compounder tyres, 107.9. That is his third run on that set of soft compounder tyres. Interestingly, GTA Gamer has retired, and that's coming through turn number 12. I wonder if he's got lost like Kimi Räikkönen back in 2012.
I think he caught too much outside curb. I think he was trying to push again after invalidating his first lap, and possibly just took too much outside curb and just spun off towards the right. So, yeah, that's my prediction.
Yeah.
Gone out of the window.
Yeah, he did. I was just looking on board. The car just disappeared, obviously, but a rise was coming through there, and it looked like he got caught on the inside curve. He probably tried to correct it one way, corrected the other, and then it spun into the wall on the right-hand side. Nearly similar to what Räikkönen obviously did, and then he took the escape road and got lost, obviously. But Ivo out on top, Dakes in second, Michael there in third. 11 minutes to go in the session so far. Yuri, man, that potentially could be up towards the top end of the field. 50.5 in the middle sector. He's now coming through the turn 15. I think he's going to go quickest here, Yuri, to the line. 106.9. How do you like them apples? Really good lap by Yuri. Puts the hammer down, and one of the championship contenders, of course, going into last week. Ivo wrapped up the championship, and that's how to get one back on your own rival. 106.9. Ivo there, 107.2. 3/10 quicker, but Ivo, I know he's got a good lap in him.
Yeah, I was never one on a good lap. Rookie, he just started his lap through the first sector. He was already up by 3/10. He's taking more curb now. So his first lap was just a banker. Now
Much
through
better.
the second sector, up by a second. So that could see him around Scar, maybe Sen, that kind of area.
Yeah, I think he might be going quicker than Michael, possibly for 4th position. Little Brookie on the run to the line. There you go.
Oh, yeah. He gained a lot of time on that straight. I would have expected he would have been 2 times slower on that straight. Michael, he invalidated. I think he's going to come. He's not going to come into the pits. He's going to start another lap. Who else is on a lap? JB. He's up by a 10 for the first sector. We got a yellow in sector 1 and 2. That's just Brookie slowing down, I think.
Yep. It is, and look at the cloud cover actually. Cloud cover beginning to build over the circuit halfway through qualifying. And so Yuri out on top, Ivo second, Dakes in third. 9 minutes to go in the session, but the cloud cover just beginning to build. You can just see a little bit of haze now beginning to come through on the clouds. That might mean most of the drivers going on a set of soft compounder tyres. That might mean we're going to get a wet end to this qualifying session, and therefore drivers are putting in their laps as much as possible. JB, as you mentioned, quick in the middle sector. The Brit now coming through the left-hander of turn 15. The cloud is definitely building over the circuit, coming down the straight here. JB on the run to the line, and he goes 7th, 107.5. Good lap time from him. Cloud beginning to build over the circuit though. Maybe a threat of rain towards the end of qualifying halfway through, and it's Yuri out on top. Ivo second, Dakes in third, who is on the lap. He's coming through Sabita dust boxes at turn 14. Now through the left-hander at turn 15. He might go quicker than Yuri here on the run towards the line. Ooh, just short, 107 flat. It's less than a tenth of a second off. Yuri out on top, Dake second, Ivo in third. Cloud beginning to build over the circuit. That can only mean one thing: rain.
Yeah, I think the rain might come as soon as maybe in 3-4 minutes. So, really, those drivers don't have any runs left. Maybe one more run if they hurry up to the pits now. But there won't be a lot of opportunities left now to do it. And Yuri retired. When did he retire?
He just retired in the pit lane, I believe. He feels like he's done enough, Yuri. I don't think he has. Maybe he sees that the rain is obviously going to come, and he's listening to the stream here and thinking, well, if there's rain coming, I may as well not set another lap.
It is raining.
It is raining? It's not on my screen yet. Will in about 20 seconds time.
On board with Ivo, oh yeah, Ivo's losing a lot of time for the last corner. If you go on board with Ivo, you can clearly see the raindrops, at least on my end.
He's coming in the pit lane now. Yeah, I can't see any raindrops, in fact, on my screen.
Well,
might be a little bit of a glitch.
I can see them going on board. I mean, I was in the session as Michael spins out. Obviously, I was in the session 1 minute before you, so it could just be a bit of desync there, but you should definitely see it clearly visible.
Oh, there we go. Now it started raining.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly 1 minute after I had it, so makes sense.
The absolute
so I think that's
joys.
Qualifying done.
What was that?
I think that's qualifying done.
I think it
nobody's
is.
going to move in those conditions. Everybody's going back into the pits now. Now, what I'd be interested in seeing, obviously I didn't look at the comments yet, if anybody decides to go out on inters, that could indicate a bad race, but Ivo retired, Yuri retired. I guess a lot of other guys are going to retire now as well.
Yeah.
Scuba Steve retired, so they're probably not going to have a red race, because otherwise they could use this as a bit of practice.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen drivers obviously go out on a set of inters to try and get running in, and then it's still been a dry race. Maybe they're just trying to maybe preempt something, obviously in the race as well. Could come later, could come earlier in the race, of course, the rain, if there is that potential. It definitely looks like it's nearing into conditions out on track. I'm on board with Little Brookie, who's just gone on to this lap, and already through the first sector, you can tell he is slow. Through this first sector, 16.8, and he's already 2/10 down. He's only going to lose the time as he goes through this lap, coming through the left-hand at turn number 4, through turn number 5, then in towards Ferradura at turn number 6, but Little Brookie, 107.4, he may as well just scrap this lap and then come in the pit lane, I think, but he wants to try and get this run in. I think good on him, because obviously we haven't got much run out on track. Van Dongen, Ruben, Cassidy are in the final sector, but I think they're going to bail into the pit lane, and Little Brookie is on this lap. You can just see now the raindrops begin into effect, coming through turn number 10, the raindrops really begin to affect the circuit. It is not too far away from inters, probably around a minute away in DRS being disabled. So, I would say that's the end of qualifying. It's Yuri out on top, Dakes in second, Ivor in third. However, of course, the 5 minutes might be run down if drivers do want to get lap times in, as Dan Messi and Frankie are both on that lap. They're on a set of softs.
Yeah. Not quite sure why they're doing this. All they're going to do is just cost themselves another set of tires.
Yeah,
Spooky has retired in the pits.
Yeah, potentially so. I think with Dan and Frankie, obviously they're there on that set of soft compounder tyres. They're out there on that set of soft compounder tyres, and that's basically a fresh set of soft compounder tyres gone to complete another race within the sessions. DRS is now disabled out on track with 5 minutes ago. Yuri out on top, Dakes in second, Ivor in third. I'm confident in saying that's the end of qualifying. Maybe we're going to see Ball Boy venture out. He normally doesn't, to be honest. I think Van Dongen is, though. He's just switched to a set of inters, so the Red Bull should be coming out the pit lane. Bull Boy, he hasn't got a run in, but even if he doesn't get a run, or even if he does get a run, he's still started in 16th position, and that's, that theory, by the way, is he's just switched to a set of inters, actually, so he might be listening to me. Jesse, by the way, is going to be starting 18th position. Rackler and GTA Gamer are behind him.
Oh, you're right. Oh yeah, obviously, all Bobber has to do is just get a lap time and he's going to be in 16th. I completely forgot about that. You notice that he hasn't had a lap time yet. He must have had some kind of issue, probably invalidated, on his run when the circuit was still dry. All Bobber has to do now is just get around the circuit, get a lap in, and don't crash.
Yeah, and
this is Bobber we're talking about.
It is Ball Boy we're talking about. He is coming out the exit of the pit lane. Oh, and he's what?
What?
He's retired coming out the pit lane. I've never seen that in any commentary in my life before. We have just been done like absolute mugs. Quite literally.
He is listening to us and he just thought, nah, ain't gonna happen.
He's probably listening to us and probably thinking, yeah, I'm just going to dupe the commentators into thinking I'm going to go on a lap. Van Dongen, by the way, is going on a lap. Frankie Monty had a spin coming through turn number 12 at John Zhao, but Van Dongen is going to set. Oh, and he comes in the pit lane as well.
Boring.
He's going to retire as well, isn't he? Frankie is around and has been disqualified from the session for going the wrong way. And that, I think, is purely because he's on a set of soft compound tyres on a wet surface. He's basically stayed too much. He's been disqualified. Van Dongen's retired, and that's the end of qualifying already early. Uri out on top. Dakes in the end. I didn't see his lap. Oh, we did see his lap time. He's 600s off in the end in second. Ivo Championship winner in third. Michael there in fourth. Scar there in fifth. Little Brookie, perhaps his best qualifying of the season in P6. Very good lap from him. Sen there in seventh, only 0.003 of a second off. And I mean, fourth to seventh are covered by 600ths as well. Scuba there in fifth. In eighth. Dan there in ninth. JB there in 10th. And they're separated by 0.5 of a second. Arise there in 11th. Van Dongen in 12th. Ruben 13th. Cassidy in 14th. Mr. Merckx, who had a qualifying ban in 15th, didn't set his lap time. Jesse in 16th. Rackler, Ballboy, GTA Gamer. Interestingly, Mercedes and Aston Martin, one of their drivers have qualified, one of them haven't. So that's going to be quite interesting. Frankie Monty obviously at the back of the field with a disqualification, and he starts right at the back of the field. So I think, Jesse, if you're still there in the comment section, didn't really go to plan for last to first challenge.
Yeah. Should have tried to get disqualified like Frankie Monty. That's unfortunate for the Ferrari because he was like what in P11 with his lap time or something like that.
Yeah.
And overtaking around here, it is a very high speed track, but if you're stuck in a DRS train, it can be very difficult to overtake.
It's going to be very difficult to overtake, and plus on top of that as well, DRS trains around here. DRS trains, I say it every single time I do a commentary around here in Brazil. DRS trains are so potent. You normally have a DRS train from first down to 20th. This is F3 though, and I'm expecting a few splits in the field early on, maybe a few crashes perhaps, who knows. I mean, it is F3, it is the final race of the season. These guys have really got nothing to lose, apart from the Constructors' Championship if you are the Mercedes, Alpine or Aston Martin. So, with that being said, Hawk, I'm going to put you immediately on the spot. Who's your top three?
Let's see. VIP, Brekler, and Cassidy.
Interesting. I'm going to go Ivo for the win, Yuri for second, and do you know what? I'd love to see him on the podium. Little Brookie for third. I think best qualifying of the season, I think, in there in sixth. Good qualifying from him. I think I'm going to put him for third.
You're just going to jinx him. Don't mention him. I'm having my eye on. I'm having my eye on him as well. I wanted to say Little Brookie for the win, but it ain't gonna work out as Scar gets disqualified and Monty gets disqualified.
Yeah.
Make contact somehow.
Yeah, I saw that. Scar was weaving. Frankie Monty basically was on the inside line of him, and there's been a slight touch. They didn't make contact or anything with each other. Slight touch, and that's just enough, obviously, to put the Cullen in the game, and then put them, obviously, disqualified from the formation lap, which is a shame.
P5 and Monty is in 20th. How did they end up next to each other?
Well, Frankie's probably jumped straight off the grid when the formation lap started.
That could be a factor. I forgot that.
Yeah, it could be. I'll tell you something else that could be a factor as well. Tyre choices. Very, very big tyre choices, actually, from the bottom end of the field. Top 10, of course, qualified on that set of softs. Everyone else, bar Ruben and Jesse are on a set of mediums. Everyone else on a set of soft compound tyres. Does that make me think there's going to be a threat of rain, or is that just purely one-stop strategy?
I think it's just one-stop strategy and wanting to stay in that big train that you mentioned, because usually, how much time do you lose when you're on your own compared to a train? Maybe like 2 or 3 tenths a straight, so maybe 6 tenths a lap. Here you can probably lose up to a second with that long third sector, obviously up to 15 seconds flat out in the slipstream of another car. If you're not in that tow because of a slower tire, you are going to lose out a lot of time.
Yeah, Bunty in the comment section, by the way, saying Yuri is really fast. Is it going to rain? We don't know. We're just the commentators. We don't know anything. We're not met office weather forecasters or anything. But we are going to get going for the final race of the season here in F3. It is 5 red lights, and it is Lights and away we go. Newey gets a very good start off the line. Dakes is going to be caught, I think, by Ivo on the run up towards turn number 1, in towards the centre S, but Yuri leads the way. Dakes in second, Ivo in third. The top 3 remain as they are. Carl off in the back red, I think might have been Jesse going wide. Scar and Michael going 4th and 5th, and there's contact between McLaren and Alfa Romeo on that Scuba. Steven Scar being caught up at an instant coming through the centre S at turn number 3. Yuri though leads the way. Dakes in second, Ivo in third. Sen and Little Brookie are side by side, and he tries to go down the inside line of him, and he's actually side by side, and he might actually get on top of it. It's Dan Messi, in fact, the Williams on the inside of him, and Little Brookie I think is going to hold the position in towards Ferradura, but Yuri leads the way. Dakes in second, Ivo in third through the first half lap. Hawk, very good starts by all. Say that though, Dan Messi has just spun JB round, and there's contact in the background. Rackler has already made himself up to 9th, and another a bit of contact, and that was Little Brookie round.
I totally shouldn't have mentioned him. Yeah, a bit messy in the first few corners. I think Rice has damage after Ruben just absolutely pancaked him through turn 2. As we have 3 by coming to the final corner. Yeah, Rice surely has damage. He's going to pit. Brookie and Van Dongen. Van Dongen has damage, I think Brookie as well. So yeah, a couple of cars that have damage early on. At the front though, relatively calm.
Relatively calm indeed. Yeah, Ruben down the inside of Jesse holds a position for 10th. Jesse trying to go around the outside. Ballboy there in 12th position as well. But Rackler, I think, has gained the most positions off the start. He's already up to 10th. 8 positions gained for Rackler as Ruben and Jesse just behind him fight side by side on the run up towards turn number 4 in towards the seat of the Largo. It is the seat of the Largo. I don't know why I'm questioning that. Jesse, though, is going to get a phenomenal run in towards Ferradura. Not around the outside of here. We don't want a Truly Alonso 2009. And Ruben holds on for 10th, Jesse there in 11th, foresight wide, and Ballboy is thinking to himself, I could pick up 2 free positions here. As Mr. Merckx has just murked Frankie Monty, I think? I don't know. Yeah, they've had contact.
Yeah. I thought one of them retired, but no, we are still good. As Jesse did get past Ruben in the end, Ballboy is still sitting patiently behind them.
Yeah, there might be a threat of impatience coming in maybe from Ballboy. He's on the quicker tyre, he's behind Ruben. Dakes still catching Yuri for the race lead, not proven by the fastest lap of the race. Either just goes slightly quicker than them. There's contact again, and is it Ballboy and Ruben? No, Ballboy and Ruben side by side. Mr. Merckx is the one round coming through Jun Sao. Bit hectic so far to keep up with. Yuri out on top, Dakes in second, Ivo on third, 1 lap 3, and Sen is on the back of Michael coming in towards turn number 4. Oh goodness me, Michael cuts across on Sen to block the position. Don't want to see you driving like that anymore in this race, certainly. Michael there in 4th. Defend the position, but don't then defend the position like that.
Yeah, as at the top, Dykes very close to Yuri, Ivo almost dropping out of that 1 second, so he's seemingly struggling a little bit to catch up with those guys right now. Behind him, relatively big gap to Michael, who, as you mentioned, is defending quite, do we say aggressively?
Yeah.
Against Senna?
I would.
Quite aggressively against that. I mean, I didn't see it, so I don't know what happened there. I was focusing on Ballboy and Ruben.
Michael, though, I think is going to be overtaken here, and whether he likes it or not, Senna's got the speed around the outside of the ball, coming through turn 15, gets the job done on him, and he's through and he's into 4th. So you can drive cleanly in the end. Sen there in 4th, Michael there in 5th, Cassidy going nearly side by side with Dan Messi in towards turn number 1, Ballboy overtaking Jesse in the background as well, and towards turn number 1. Already a hectic start. I think Cassidy and Dan Messi is going to be quite close, and JB's round, coming through turn number 3. I think he got caught in the inside curb. Yeah. Cassidy, though, is going to try and get this moved on Dan Messi in towards turn number 4. Oh, and there's contact between the both. Cassidy put it down the inside line. Pure wheel-to-wheel contact. He's in the wall, I think, as well. Just about recovers out of the wall. And Cassidy there down to 13. All of this is happening. Jesse and JB are side by side in towards Ferradura, and Jesse has just pulled off a phenomenal move on a recovering JB. He's doing his into 9th, and I don't think JB actually got any damage as a result of his contact at turn 3.
No, he didn't. There was no contact. He was just caught on the inside curb, performed a Verstappen-style save. Cassidy as well in turn 4. I don't think he had any contact with the wall. He managed to just lock it down and recover, but yeah, obviously unfortunate for him. I feel like half the field at this point has been involved in some kind of incident, so yeah, keep it clean, guys.
Yeah, it might be final race of the season, might be the final race of F1 2021 for these guys, but Rackler is going to show why he wants to go on to the new game in fine. Vettel goes around the outside on turn number 1. Beautiful move that is by Rackler. We saw overtaking the season last week in Mexico from him. That might just have topped of the lot. Rackler through and he's into 6th. Phenomenal move once again. When he is on fire, he really is. And Rackler, exciting prospect. If he transfers over to the game, like we've seen him in the final couple of races, he's going to be a big prospect, I think, for F3. And there's contact in the background, and that is Michel van Dongen and Scuba Steve round in separate incidents.
Yeah. So we're having a tough time. Van Dongen on those hards, not making them work. Arise on the hards. He's very careful on photos, so I don't think the hards are working out here, especially with those clouds and the cool track because of it.
Yeah, Bunty's saying in the chat as well, Scar always gets taken out. Yeah, hopefully...
I think VIP also just had a spin for turn 1.
Yeah, he did. Slight spin, but I think he's got back going again. Scuba Steve, I think, is going to retire the car in the pit lane. He exactly does that. And unfortunately for him, I think he had a spin coming out of turn 11. Separate instance of what we saw with Van Dongen. Sen, by the way, side by side with Michael. Oh, and that's a lovely move. Around the outside of turn number 1. I think that's even better than Rackler's, to be honest. Sen through and he's into 4th. Michael there in 5th. Rackler, though, has gained, God almighty, I don't know how, 11 positions in this race. From 17th on the grid, up 11 positions up to 6th. And he's got 2 more right in front of him. That is pretty much a second away.
Yeah, I think Wicker just kept out of trouble so far. That train having a big gap to the top 3 now, so they're probably not going to be in for the fight for the podium as Mr. Merckx gets the penalty. But yeah, Sen and Michael, they've been fighting each other all race long, always exchanging positions at the start-finish straight, but now Rackler, I think, is just going to sit behind, see what they're doing, and be the laughing third guy if those guys have some kind of contact.
Yeah, and also with Sen and Michael as well. 4.7 seconds now, they've pretty much lost to the front 3. They're in a DRS train. They are pretty much in a DRS train, to be honest. I mean, Michael's probably going to get Sen in towards turn number 1. Rackler's going to close in quite quickly as well. And do you know what? If I was Rackler, I'd probably think about moving towards turn 4 as Arise has crashed out coming through. Ooh, maybe on the grass, I think he's got caught at turn 10. Oh no, it
is a safety car, virtual safety car.
VSE and Michael got the move done on Sen around the outside of turn number 1, on the exit of turn number 1. Got the job done, he's through and he's into 4th as a result, as Ruben and little Brookie changed positions as well.
Yeah, it was very tight between Sen and Michael. I think they were wheel banging through turn 1 because they saw that tired car, and both of them just wanted to be out in front before the PSC comes out. As Ruben...
What? I was wondering what was going on there. I watched that. I was wondering what was going on there. And now it makes sense. Ruben had an illegal overtake on little Brookie. He's tried to let him through. The game has thought, nah, mate, 5-second penalty for you. And Ruben there down in 11th has got a 5-second penalty. I was wondering what was going on because there was a bit of a Constantine effect out of turn 3. Ruben's trying to let little Brookie through. Little Brookie obviously hasn't realised. And Ruben has been given a 5-second penalty as the VSC, I think, is ending? I think?
I'm not sure. Some people might actually go into the pits. Yuri is faking it. Dykes is also faking it.
Yeah,
I
nobody
wouldn't have to fake for anybody. And Brookie... Oh, he...
Oh, and little Brookie's in the wall. Little Brookie in the wall. Michael all the way in the pit lane.
Did Ruben just backtrack him, or did he have to slow down because of the delta, or what happened there?
I was really late to that, to be honest. Just saw it as pretty much had happened. Little Brookie, it looked to me, I dare not point him out for this, it looked to me Ruben was trying to force little Brookie off in towards the wall slightly, coming out of Jun Sao at turn 12. And if that was the case, learn from your mistakes, my friend.
I hope it isn't the case, as we're back under green flag racing. 5 seconds we get between Sen and the lead pack, and that just shows you the difference between being effectively in the train as who's not a GTA game or going a bit slow. That just shows you the difference between working together in the train. It's fun on the curb.
GTA spins, and Dan Messi's just nearly done the same as well, coming out of turn number 10. Goodness me, Dan Messi, good recovery, went on the grass.
Was that on a safety car?
No, there's not. There's not. Rackler is there. Oh, wow! GTA Gamer's done Alonso 2003. Rackler on the back of
And
Sen,
Ivo.
though. This is going to be moved on, I think, in towards turn number 1. No VSE or safety car. And we're not going to get one because Rackler gets the move done around the outside of turn 1 on Sen. Both of them have done the same move before. And now we're going to see war down in towards turn number 4 once again. Down into the seat of the Largo. Rackler, Sen. Sen is fighting back now on Rackler. This would be a brilliant battle if they can carry this up the hill. But Rackler holds on for P4 and Sen and P5. Rackler slightly out wide though.
Yeah, and Ivo is losing touch to the top 2, but still that 5-second gap, that just shows you the difference between working together in a turn because those top 3 have not changed position and fighting each other as Ruben.
Yeah, I saw that. Frankie Monti was dabbing it down the inside line of turn number 4. Ruben forced out wide. His lens slipped, I think, on the curb, on the exit, where Verstappen, obviously, in Hamilton ran out wide last season around here. He's basically slid into the side of Frankie Monti. I don't know how he's not got damage as Ruben. He's still having P10 and still in the race, luckily.
Oh, interesting.
Very strange one. Very strange indeed. But lap 10 out of 36. I don't know how we're already 10 laps through this race, to be honest. It's Yuri out of top, Dakes in second, Ivo in third. You mentioned there. Ivo dropping out of the second. Doesn't look like he's got the pace. He's got nothing to lose here today, obviously. He's won the championship. He's already secured it. The pressure is off. And now the pressure has been applied as a result to Yuri and Dakes, first and second. Yuri's already wrapped up, I think, second position in the championship as well. And Dakes has got a lot to fight for. I think he needs to wrap up third, if I'm not mistaken. I'll run through the standings quickly. No, Yuri's in third. He's wrapped up pretty much that. GTA Gamer's wrapped up second. And where is our friend Dakes in the championship? Dakes is well down the field. God, I thought he was up there. He's in 23rd position.
No, he's just a reserve, I think, so he didn't race for most of the season, if I remember correctly. Or did he?
Did he? I know we picked up a second in Imola.
I don't know. Usually reserves aren't that high up the order anyway. But Wrecker is catching up to Ivo. Ivo just can't stay in that train, and that's costing him a lot of time. But also what I noticed, if you go on board with Wrecker and you turn on the telemetry, you can see that his fuel warning light is on. So I think he has maybe underfueled his car a little bit. So there could be a little bit of coasting going on. Later on the race. Or he's hoping for a safety car.
Yeah, he has underfueled his car, but I've seen that happen before. Rackler does a Verstappen coming out of turn number 4 as well, as I ride on board with him. But Rackler there in full. Yeah, he's underfueled his car, but I've seen drivers underfuel their cars before, and normally they get to the end of the race without any problem. So Rackler, I think, will be managing that. He's also got to manage his ERS as well, because compared to the front 3, Rackler's got 18% of ERS, 48% for Ivo. Dakes is on 97%!
Use it!
He's 7 tenths away, he could use it and overtake him!
Yeah, he could probably even extend that gap to outside of a second and just pull away.
Do you know what? I think he might listen to us here, or are they coming in the pits? No. Dakes is using up, he's using it sparingly. And I don't get why. As I was in the pit lane, I think Dakes now, if I was in his shoes, I'd be going for this race lead, because I realised my rival in behind is in, Sen in 5th is in, and Dakes, if you're listening to the chat, go for this move. Trust me, on this one, it will be for the lead of this race, as he now goes on the back of Yuri. There is a yellow flag as well to hash around Dakes down the inside line into Cena Delago, gets the job done, through, and he's into the lead of the race, through turn number 4. Yuri's going to try and battle back, but Dakes, that is a carbon copy out of the James Head textbook right there. Dakes out on top, Yuri there in second, Rackler in third, and look where Ivo came out the pit lane. He's in clear air, but that's cost him more than it's gained. So Dakes, if I was you, I'd be putting in right now.
Yeah, definitely. I think Yuri will put in as well. Just trying to cover that undercut from Ivo, because Ivo has relatively clear air. He has Cassidy ahead, but he's almost 3 seconds ahead, so that shouldn't be an issue as Van Dongen is around.
Oh, and he's going to come right on track in front of the leaders.
Thank God for ghosting. As the leaders are surely going to pit now. That's Dykston, that's Yuri, and yeah. Careful not to speed in the pit lane.
Oh, he has! He has!
Dykes! No. I was on board of him, it was like 2 or 3 kph.
Oh. He goes under a set of mediums. If there's a safety car though, we can come in and remove that. So, not all doom and gloom for Dakes. Ivo, by the way, is behind Cassidy. And look where Dex is coming out the pit lane. Dex is going to be ahead. Yuri, I think, is going to be side by side with Cassidy coming out the pit lane here. So this could be good news, actually, for Ivo. Cassidy is there. There is Yuri. It's going to be very tight on the exit here. It is going to be side by side pretty much at the pit lane. And Yuri's actually behind Cassidy. That is not ideal for Yuri.
Yeah. Dyke just has to pull right now. Just... Ah, 5 second penalty. He has to ignore 5 second penalty for now, just focus on pulling away, because Cassidy is gonna hold those guys up on those old softs. I can't really pass him through the infield unless they go for a very ambitious move. So this is just perfect for Dykes, if he wouldn't have that penalty.
Oh, I thought Yuri was going to get the run in towards turn number 10. Cassidy, though, was making that McLaren look as wide as possible. And then he's got another wide boy in behind on the Ivo and the Mercedes. And Mercedes now on the back of Yuri. I think we get 3 wider towards turn number 1 here, perhaps. Yuri gets a really good run out Jun Sao. Ivo, though, is going to have the double toe on the back. Look at how much Cassidy has cost Yuri. Nearly a second and a half already. Cassidy's going to juke into the pit lane. And look at Ivo's run that he's going to get on Yuri. Yuri will be in P4. Ivo into P5. Sen and Ruben are having a good fight as well. Further down the field, they're coming through the infield at turn 15 on the run down in towards turn number 1. And I think Sen has got the move done around the outside. He has. The Ferrari ahead of the Alpine, and that is crucial, of course, in terms of Alpine's chances. Both Aston Martins, by the way, Hawk, already out the race.
Yeah, so call me pessimist, but I don't think we're going to win the championship today. Alpine,
they're not doing enough.
Really on course to do it. Also, I'd just like to point out the top 2, Weckler and Ballboy, both made up 16 positions. I know they weren't in the pit set, but still that's impressive. As Cassidy is rejoining right behind Jesse after his pit stop. Jesse on the hards.
Yeah, Jesse on the hards, but he's been on those. I mean, to be honest, I'm not too. What's the word I'm looking for? I don't get why he's gone for that, to be honest. Jesse on a set of hards. I think he'd be thinking, oh, he just makes a mistake coming through turn number 9. In towards turn number 10 at Laranha. Cassidy around the outside of Laranha. This will be a great move. He can pull this off, and he does. Around the outside. Yeah. Jesse on those set of hards. Literally like driving on ice for Jesse. And Cassidy made easy work of him through around the outside of turn 10 and up into P10 as Ballboy is in the pit lane.
Yeah, as Yuri, I think, is just able to gain a bit on Dykes. But yes, yeah, Dykes has a lot more energy than Yuri. Ballboy in the pit, he's gonna rejoin. I think just in front of Jesse and Cassidy, who are battling with each other through turn 1.
Miles ahead. 6 seconds.
Ooh, yeah,
6 seconds ahead. Cassidy's going to have a run at Jesse, though. This is a really good fight between them both. Fair play to them both. Cassidy around the outside of turn 4 to see to the logo. Jesse gives him the room. As soon as I say that, though... As soon as I say that, they make a bit of contact, but it's difficult because it's an off-camber corner. Cassidy was on the outside line, he was always going to come in. Jesse was on the inside line, he was going to come out. And that's why there was contact, because of the off-camber.
Yeah, and Jesse with those hard ties. You can just see Cassidy virtually pushing him through the corners. I hope he doesn't get any front wing damage from that. But yeah, those hard tires for Jesse just not working out on this track. Especially on the infield where you need so much tire grip in those cold conditions as well. Just not getting them up to temperature at all, that's a big issue throughout this game, I gotta say. Just making the hards work, it's been almost impossible. But I think Cassidy should get him maybe into turn 1, maybe into turn 4. He's gaining on him, not gonna be close enough yet. Oh, but look at how much time he's gaining on the brakes. As Ruben and Dan Messi going down the inside of Ruben in turn 4, that's a good move. Jesse going very defensive. And Cassidy trying the same thing again and just sending it on the brakes, going in deep.
Nice.
It goes on the exit, but very nice move from him. Is Jesse going to try to fight back? He's going to try sending it up the inside. But Cassidy just says, nah, you're not going through. And now the Ferrari of Frankie Monti is behind Jesse. And I think he's going to get past fairly soon as well.
More immediately, though, net lead of the race is going to change because Yuri around the outside of Dakes at turn 15 gets the job done and he's through and he's into the net lead of the race. Dakes is going to obviously fight this back. They're 2.5 seconds clear of Ivo. Rackler, though, still yet to come in the pit lane. He is going medium compound tyres for sure towards the end of this race and he's going to be on fresh medium compound of tyres, may I add, towards the end. I think he's going to get ahead of Ballboy, perhaps, in this pit stop when he decides to come in. But there's a yellow flag, and that's Mr. Merckx, I think, who has just cut turn 12, and he's spun again as Mr. Merckx. And I think Scar is going to be through on him. Yeah, he is. Scar through, and he's into P14. Mr. Merckx, unfortunately, qualifying ban and multiple spins out on track, not being the best race for him.
Yeah. Let's see, Wegler surely has to pit at some point. I just checked the lap time. He's on average about 1.5 seconds slower than the guys right behind him as Merckx.
VSC.
Oh, VSC because of the pass on track. That's actually perfect for Wegler though.
Wegler is, yeah, he's coming through turn. Oh, and he's got Van Dongen. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Oh, his teammates ruined him. Van Dongen's in the pit lane ahead of him.
No. His brother betrays him. Like Scar faster.
Absolute nightmare for the Red Bulls. Wegler has lost 10 seconds just because of this safety car, just because of this pit stop alone. Luckily, they're quick to put on his tyres this time around. Mediums go on. And do you know what? I think I'm right in saying he's going to be ahead. In fact, he's going to be ahead of Dan Messi, perhaps, coming out of the pit lane. Wegler is miles ahead compared to what I compared him to.
Yeah, but he could have been ahead of Sen and Michael. Possibly if his brother wouldn't have
side by side.
That. It's going to be close though, it's going to be very close. Dan Messi will have a better straight line speed, he's on the outside. As the Wegler has cold tires, he's sending it into the corner, has a bit of understeer, but still keeps it on track. Good defense there from Wegler. Dan Messi is going to come back at him though, towards turn 6. Wegler making his car very wide, a little bit of contact there. He keeps the position for now.
He does indeed, yeah. Dan was running out of ERS running up the hill as well. Wegler there in 6th, Dan Messi there in 7th. There's another yellow flag, and as that, Dake's round. It's Dake's round. Coming through turn number 11, he's spun on the outside curb, and now he's spun on the inside curb at Jun South. So Dake's is round from perhaps P2, and now he's all the way down in towards P5. And do you know what? There's Wegler and Dan Messi as well, and he rejoins just in front of them. Wegler now into 5th, Dan Messi in 6th. This has worked out. Everything is working out to Wegler's play. By the way, there's 3 wide with 2 ghosting cars down the straight in towards turn number 1. As Dakes has retired, I think. Oh, and he's actually retired just before the pit lane. Is that going to be a safety car? Yeah. It is. It's a safety car. And Dakes, I think, has he lost it coming out of turn 14?
His right front corner is completely ripped off. It could be that he just caught the curb on the inside, head oversteer, corrected towards the right hand side into the barrier. And Jesse and Cassidy are ghosting inside, going into the pits.
Oh, judging by the skid marks, I think you're right there.
Yeah. Very similar to... Oh, who else crashed here earlier in the race? Was it Arise that crashed here?
It was, VIP? Yeah.
Yeah. It's very similar to him, also very similar to Alonso, obviously, in 2003. Luckily, they didn't scatter tires all over the track that could be collected by Mark Webber.
Yeah.
See, as everybody's going to pit for fresh tires. See, Yuri and Ivo also going to pit. They got 5 seconds between each other. That's a very big gap. Yuri is in the pits, Ivo is also going to pit. Michael, I expect him to pit as well.
Yeah, they all should be in. Somebody stayed out.
That's Mr. Merckx, he didn't want the double stack.
Wegler stays out though. Yeah. Wegler stays out.
Good for Wegler.
Is he going to be out in the race lead here?
Oh, it's going to be close with Yuri. I think he might be in P2.
Yeah, he will be. Yuri's about a second ahead, I think, coming out of the pit lane. Wegler second. That's not bad at all. Wegler there in second. There's the safety car, and Yuri luckily slows down. I thought it wasn't going to slow down for a second there. Yuri though, Wegler first and second. Ivo there in third, and he, among many others, on a set of softs.
Well, I mean, Wegler carried those softs for 16 laps, so it is possible. But tell you what, if Wegler wouldn't have had the double stack, he would be leading right now.
Yeah. Definitely so, and it looks like Neil's there in the chat saying Mercedes is champion. Yeah, Dakes was he an Alpine? Is that another Alpine? First Alpine out. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah, so Mercedes is definitely champions now.
Yeah, they are. Mercedes are now crowned constructors champions. Lap 20 out of 36 is already decided. They are done because nothing is going to change the results for the DNFs. They are DNFing out of this race, however you like it or not. Yuri, loud on top though, Rackler in second, Ivo in third. I'm going to cross now to you, Hawk. I'm going to ask you this one specific question that I normally like to ask my co-coms. If you were in Ivo's situation, in third position, what would you do?
I know what we could do. We could just end the stream right now. I think Ivo doesn't really care. I'm not sure how aware he is of the Constructors' Championship situation. I'm not sure if he's listening to us. But usually, if I'd be in his position, I wouldn't give a damn about it. I see 2 cars ahead of me on the mediums, I'm on the softs. I want to win this race. And I think there's nothing else going through his mind right now. He doesn't care about the fact that he's champion and that he won the Constructors. He still wants another victory under his belt as Van Dongen gets a drive-through. Not like that's going to change anything.
Yeah, he's right at the back of the field. He picked up a 3-second penalty before that as well. Maybe if I was Van Dongen... Yeah, he doesn't care. He's picking up a drive-through penalty. Unless it's a glitch. He's picking up multiple drive-through penalties. He's going to get disqualified in a second here. Unless he comes in the pit lane and retires.
Mr. Merckx can go flat out without getting drive-throughs, so...
yeah, they've got an all delta. They've got an all delta time, so I think this is a glitch maybe for Van Dongen.
Oh, that sucks for him. I mean, it's not like he's in good position anyway, but still it sucks for him.
I've seen this, though, before. It was pretty much at the start of the game. That's how long ago it was. This was... Oh, and he's been disqualified. He's been disqualified for multiple penalties. And, yeah, I was going to say, before he got disqualified there, it normally does correct itself. This case, though, it didn't. And Van Dongen is at the race, disqualified. He is probably wondering, as many of you are at home, what on earth did he do to deserve that? Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. I think it's because he was a lap down. He unlapped himself when the safety car was out. The delta time hasn't kicked in on that lap. Therefore, they think, Rackler's out of the race.
He just spun it on exit. I was just watching that.
I'm speechless. I didn't even see that.
Oh god, he lost it. Just under acceleration, very late in the acceleration phase. He just absolutely bottled it.
It's a Montana LOE sort of moment from earlier on in the season in Season 6.
We have restarted, by the way. The safety car is in, I didn't even notice that. We are going side by side in the midfield. I think he was just trying to get temperature into his tires. Oh, it's going to be so embarrassing for him.
Oh, yeah, you have to feel sorry for Rackler. It happens to the best of people at times, and that's just really unfortunate. Oh my goodness me, Cassidy and Jesse going side by side towards Ferradura, and Cassidy holds on to 7th. Jesse there, and there was a bit of scrimmaging further down the field. I think it was between Scar and Ruben, perhaps, and little Brookie forced it down the inside line of Frankie Monti. Elbows are well and truly out now here in Brazil. Yuri leads the way. Ivo there in second. Rackler you have to feel sorry for. Scar is out of the race, and that might be another safety car coming out as well. And Scar out of the race. I don't think that's going to be a safety car.
Oh, I might be able to get up in time.
It is a safety car.
There we go. Just as Rackler was spinning out, I was about to say, I tell you why Van Dongen got all those penalties. It's karma for getting his brother into a double stack. And then he just spins out and crashes, as JB is getting into the pits, probably for softs. I still can't believe what happened there. I'm gonna check the Discord right now, and just gonna see how many swear words he's gonna write in there in Dutch.
Van Dongen, by the way, saying game is crash, or game is crap. I think that's meant to say. Got disqualified without reason. He wants a restart. Nothing you can do about that. Unfortunately, nothing you can do about that. It's the coding in the game. Basically, I've seen that at the start of the game, and I thought it would have been completely and utterly fixed. And a week before the new game comes out, this rears its head once again. This just comes to show what F1 2022 online might be like. I'm pre-warning every single person that's watching this stream. This is what F1 22 might be like.
Or they're just doing the same thing that Apple sometimes does. You notice how whenever a new iPhone is coming out, the previous series just has a lot of bugs all of a sudden? Maybe it's the same thing.
Yeah, I think it is. I mean, we haven't had a patch update in around a month as well. I mean, I know that's good by Codemasters terms, to be honest, but still. But F122 obviously coming out in a week, it just gets concerned. Rackler's also saying, by the way, that his game glitched. So I wonder if there's a wider problem here, maybe away from the racing. And I think it's all to do with that safety car coming out, that first safety car that came out. I think it's all to do with that.
Strange, because as I said, I didn't notice the message saying that the safety car is coming in. Then again, maybe I just missed it because of the shock and horror after the spin. But yeah, that's just... it's going to be so interesting seeing Reglar's POV if he's going to send it in one of the incident chats or something like that. Just to see what was going on there.
Yeah. What I will say though, if drivers obviously feel like the games are glitching, we did go through more than half race distance when that safety car came out. So that just maybe puts in precedence what the stewards might be looking at in terms of the after race effects. Obviously, we can just continue what we've got in front of us out on track at the minute, and we can just continue on with the stream as normal. But if there's glitches and it's been reported, I think, honestly, they have to review POVs, they have to review basically what the driver's been feeling out on track as well, and then just see Skulls saying as well his game was glitching. Maybe
I mean, so far 3 drivers have said that they have experienced some glitches. I don't think that's enough to justify an entire lobby reset, because we're already halfway done anyway.
Yeah.
But we're gonna keep it in mind. If there's any more glitching going on, then we might just have to call it, but so far it seems to be okay. Let's see if anybody else is gonna crash out. Safety car is in this lap.
Yeah, I think it'll be fine now. The safety car's coming in this lap where it should normally do. It was a very late call in by the safety car last time, and that's why I think everything has glitched itself slightly. But we will see in the next few laps what happens. Yuri's the virtual Burt Malander, he's now the virtual safety car, and he's going to get sustained pressure from Ivo and Sen in behind him. Is he going to go for a quick restart, or is he not? I think he's going to wait right until the start-finish line. In fact, no, he goes on the pit lane entry, and Yuri's going to be under pressure from Ivo, running down in towards turn number 1. We're back under green flag racing, no full yellow flags on the screen, which is good to see, as Dan launches one on Dan on the Michael, gets the move done around the outside of turn number 1. Lovely move. He's on that set of medium compound and sizes a spin in the background. Mr. Merckx is slightly round. Ivo though is going to have a run down in towards virtual posture and Decido Delago at turn number 4. Yuri though leads the way. Ivo there in second, Sen in third. Dan Messi going side by side still with Michael and Dan Messi going out wide as well. Cassidy, Ballboy all in the mix as well. Jesse on the back of this as well, and then they're splitting in behind with Frankie Monty, JB. They're all now coming on the scene as well. Cassidy just forces down the inside line of Dan Messi. Absolutely impossible move, and that is why, because Dan Messi's got damage on the right side end plate.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for him, as there's more wheelbang between him and Jesse. He's just sitting dark ball, but by the way, made it up 13 positions. I don't want to jinx him, but keep that in mind, as Frankie Monty and Ruben going side by side, and Ruben, did he just hit the back of Dan Messi there? I'm not quite sure, but he is going to get past him now. Dan Messi getting a few seconds penalty because he was pushed off slightly, as Ivo and Yuri going side by side.
Ivo nearly went at the back of Yuri and then nearly made contact in towards the pit wall there. Goodness me, that was close. Dan Messi retires, I think, in the pit lane, or he will retire maybe in the pit lane. He's certainly sped in the pits. Yeah, he retires in his pit box, which is unfortunate. Ivo though leads the way, got the lead in towards turn number 1. Yuri there in second, Sen in third, Michael in fourth, and the other Michael, Ballboy there in fifth. How on earth is he in 5th position after the race he's had? He's literally avoided everything.
Absolute magic, as the bookie is going right. I think he might have a bit of damage, or he just made a mistake for turn 4, not sure. No visible damage to his front wing, so I think he should be good to go, as JB and Ruben are side by side. Ruben, does he have damage? I think he hit the back of Dan Messi last lap, so he could have a bit of damage. He is dropping back in comparison to JB, so I think he might be going into the pit to repair his front wing.
Yeah,
as Ivo is extending the gap out in front.
Yeah, and Sen, actually, Yuri's made a mistake, and Sen around the outside gets the job done in towards the Speed of the boxes at turn 14, and Sen through, and he's into second. Yuri there in third, and he's going to come under a wall of pressure with Michael, Bullboy, Cassidy, Jesse all chasing him down as well. Everything looks like it's fine, though, in terms of the lobby at this moment in time. Frankie Monty's going to dive it down the inside line on Ruben in towards turn number 1 as well. Lap 27 out of 36, 3/4 race distance here in Brazil. Either out on top, Sen in second, but for how long? Because Yuri's having a real fight back in towards Retro Poster, down into the seat of the Lago, doesn't get the move done as Mr. Merckx gets the job done on Monty.
You had 2 is on the grass at Mr. Merckx. Absolute commitment from him. He's going to lose out now, though. Still side by side with Frankie Monty. Look at that Alpha Tauri just being completely dirty.
Oh.
A little bit of wheel banging. Is he going to send
oh my god!
No, Frankie Monty sending it around the outside. A little bit of contact there. And
Little Bookie's fun.
Half spin, he still saves it. Might have damage.
Frankie Monty as well. Just noticing, oh, Little Brookie's taken Mr. Merckx out. That is not what we like to see. And 5-second penalty for Little Brookie. And safety car has been deployed as well. That's even worse. Safety car has been deployed. I will send Yuri first, second, and third. Now, I will say this. Tension's ball over, but don't let
him?
Yeah, don't let frustration get the better of you. I know you've had a poor race, but still. Final race of the season, rules still apply. Whether you like it or not.
That's not nice to see. Ruben, Frankie Monty and Little Bookie in the pits. I'm not sure if Ruben actually cut the pit entry. Little Bookie retires. We only have 10 guys left. So yeah, quite an atrocious race. Yeah, not sure what I should think about that. If you just straight on Tim, that's gonna... I'm not sure if Little Bookie is gonna be allowed to race next season. And I'm kinda afraid of saying that, because obviously he owns our Discord server, so he could just kick me as the Discord owner.
Yeah.
I hope he's not gonna do that. But yeah, only 10 guys left.
Yeah, as I'll say, I think frustrations... I know it's the final race of the season. I've been in the same position before. Frustrations have got the better of me on the final race of the season. But what you just have to try and do is get into that mentality once again of, I can still get points out of this race. Little Brookie could have still got points out of this race. And there's 10 drivers going, and every single driver, as long as they finish, no matter what position they're going to finish in, they are going to be first, down to 10th, in positions with points. And I think that matters more than anything else, really, I think, within the league and within F3 here tonight, because I would take points, even if it's a point, I'd fight for it. Even if it's a point, I'd fight for it. But otherwise, on top, Sen there in second, Yuri in third. We have to focus, of course, on what we've got in front of us. And drivers, Frankie Monty and Ruben, came in for a fresh set of softs. Everyone else is on a wearing set of tyres, either mediums or softs. Have Frankie Monty and Ruben just pulled an absolute blinder there?
I think that could lead to a lot of chaos, but let's see. Also another interesting thing, Ferrari and Mercedes is the only team that still has both drivers in the race. We have a couple of teams that have no drivers left. We have Red Bull with no drivers left. We have Aston Martin with no drivers left. So yeah, very disappointing to see that half the grid is already out, but yeah, Frankie and Ruben, they should be the fastest cars now. They might get held up in the infield. I hope they don't lose their patience in there, because that's just going to lead to more incidents. I think we have reached the maximum amount of safety cars, because we had 3 safety cars and 2 VSCs, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Oh god.
So it should be green flag racing to the end. Don't tell me you're having some hiccups now.
Nobody heard that. I think it was just a rogue one. So, yeah, we've got 7 laps to go, though. Ivo, I think, is going to be the virtual Bert Marlander at the end of this lap. Safety car should be coming in. Yeah, safety car coming in. And Ivo now the virtual Bert Marlander. He's now the virtual safety car. Sen there in second, Yuri there in third. F4, by the way, going on. They're only on lap 21. They're miles behind at the minute. Evil's leading the way. Ignala second and Humanoid there in third as it stands. More viewers over there in F4 if you do want to watch it. If you want to watch the final 7 laps here though for F3, you can watch it in the great old company of myself and Hawg, and Ivo is going to probably go on the exit of the pit entry. He's very slow and going so.
Now.
And Cassidy nearly running the back of Ballboy in the back end as well. And Ivo leads the way in towards turn number 1. Sen there in second, Yuri in then third. Cassidy goes around the outside on Ballboy. Beautiful move by Cassidy. Through and he's into fifth. He goes. Ballboy there down into sixth. Frankie Monty, I think, could have been a slight collision maybe with Ruben in towards turn number 1. He's still going in the race, though, which is good to see. Jesse down the inside line and Ballboy. Mercedes on the Alfa Romeo. This should be job done down the inside line. Force him off wide. And yeah, Jesse's through and he's into sixth.
That was a little bit rough from Jesse there on the exit, but no damage to either of them, I think. Ballboy, though, is going to be faster through the infield, and he just sends it down the inside of Jesse and makes him stick beautifully. Jesse with the switchback, but Ballboy... I don't think I've ever seen Ballboy do such an ambitious move. As Jesse is having a look on the inside, Ballboy says, no, you're not going through. I'm loving this from Ballboy. He sees that he could potentially be, well, on the podium maybe, but definitely a top 5 finish. He's not willing to lose any time behind Jesse on those mediums. Yuri on those mediums, almost a second behind Sen. Sen still keeping behind Ivo, but using quite a bit of his energy. Actually, both of them using quite a bit of energy.
Yeah, Frankie Monty as well. Right on the back of JB. Ruben, by the way, got through on JB into P8. He got the job done. I think it was through turn number 10, if I'm not mistaken. So Ruben through. He's just picked up another penalty there. Through, and he's into 8. Frankie Monty must have automatic ERS on at this stage, because I've seen him use it through corners and everything. And do you know what? He's going to dive it down the inside line of JB. Beautiful move as we go on board with him there. Ferrari through. And he's into 9th. JB there in 10. Now he switches off his ERS, so there's no automatic ERS on, but he's using up and carving that ERS up so much. He just needs to wait and maybe just flick it off once in a while and then try and think about the next move. But Ruben and Frankie Monty already making moves into P7 and P8 and P9. And next up on their hit list is Jesse, who's on 9 lap all the tyres.
Yeah, I think Jesse's going to be sitting duck. He's already losing contact to Ballboy ever so slightly. I think when the DRS is enabled this coming lap, he will already be out of that 1 second. Just like Yuri, who's already lost touch to front 2. Michael is going to absolutely walk by him. San is losing the 1 second to Ivo now as well.
And I think the best part is, at least it's quieted down a little bit. I'm like 32 out of 36. Yeah. Might be the quietest point of the race I think we've had so far. Ruben on the back of Jesse is looking quite close down the hill in towards the seat of the logo at turn number 4. Frankie Monty on the back of this as well. Yeah, nobody's going to get close. Saying that though, Ruben nearly went on the back of Jesse, coming out through turn number 4 there. JP in there in 10th. Either they'll send first and second, but Yuri's surely going to get eaten alive by the field as Michael on the back of him. Cassidy and Ballboy not too far off the pace either. Michael's just got to think about maybe eyeing up a move in towards turn number 1. Of course, DRS I think is enabled this lap around if I'm not mistaken. Yep. So Michael there in 4th has got DRS on the back of Yuri, and Yuri, his tyres though, they're going to be at a big advantage because they're going to come into play right at the end of this race.
I'm watching from the back end of Yuri, I'm watching behind him, and Michael is having a lot of understeer into those slow corners, and Yuri just gained like almost a second on him in that infield section, so I think he might just be at that crossover period between the softs and the mediums. That also means that Ruben and Frankie, they should have a big advantage. Well, against all drivers now in front of him, basically, as Ruben is only 2 tenths behind Jesse. Is he going to be able to make a move into turn 4? Jesse also has DRS still on Ballboy. Nothing he can do there, so still on the DRS train. San managed to catch back up to Ivo, only 4 tenths behind him.
Yeah, Sen on the back of Ivo is looking maybe the closest battle out on track at this stage. Ruben and Frankie Monty have a little bit of a collision. Belgian down the inside line of the Frenchman. Just about tries to get the job done, and Frankie Monty runs out one on the grass. And that is job done for Ruben. He holds on to position for 8. Not sure what happened there. I think Ruben might have went in too deep. Frankie Monty tried to get the switch back. Then they've had a little bit of a collision, and then Ruben's held on that position for P8. So there we have it. Ruben there in 8th. Frankie Monty there in 9th. Sen on the back. The other Ferrari on the back of the leader, Ivo. Ivo doesn't need to really win this race, to be honest. He's already wrapped up the championship, but Mercedes need to pick up as many points as possible. Obviously, as it stands, they're going to be picking up 1st and 7th barring, of course, penalties being removed, because if penalties get removed and they get added on at the end of the race for a few out on track that haven't, it might be all changed in terms of the actual racing and the actual finishing positions out on track. Frankie Monty, I thought, was going to dive down the inside line of Ruben. He doesn't, and Ivo leads, Sen second, Yuri in third. Yuri, though, didn't I say his mediums will come into play?
Yeah, they're coming back now.
He's on the back, 4/10 away from the back of Sen, and with only 2.5 laps to go, Yuri might be eyeing up an opportunity for winning this race. As long as he gets past Sen with that 3-second penalty for Ivo. There are the penalties, by the way. I haven't run them through so far tonight. Ivo, Cassidy on 3, along with Jesse and Frankie Monty are on 3, JB on 6, and Ruben on 9. As it stands, of course, more penalties can be picked up before the end of this race as Yuri chases down Sen on the run down in towards turn number 1 once again. We go on to the penultimate lap of the F3 season, and it's Ivo that leads the way. 6/10 of a second over Sen. Yuri there in third. Maybe Sen is going to have an opportunity to try and get this race win out on track.
Actually, I was just checking the warnings and all that. Ivo picked up that penalty 2 laps ago, and on that last lap he picked up another 2 warnings. So if he isn't careful, he could get another penalty, and if he would have those 6 seconds, he could drop down all the way down to JB almost. Of course, ignoring their penalties towards the back end. So he really has to watch out. I don't think he's going to win this, as Yuri and Sen really close to each other, nose to tail.
Yuri has just had a code brown moment coming out of turn number 6. How on earth he kept that car going in a straight line, I do not know. He drifted it on the exit of turn 7. That was unbelievable. And look at him. I was backing Sen up into Yuri, and Yuri's going to have a crack at this on the run down and towards turn number 1 at the centre S, and Ivo now is going to be an absolute sitting duck down this straight. The Mercedes is going to try and burn all of that ERS, but to what avail, because here comes Sen, here comes Yuri, onto the final lap we go. Sen holds off on the back of Ivo. That's smart driving from the Ferrari. The Mercedes hanging on out in front. Of course the Mercedes has got penalties. Sen and Yuri don't at this stage, and Ivo, another penalty, could come into play, maybe even putting Michael and Bullboy on the podium, as Ivo, I think, will hold the lead down the Retroposta in towards the seat of Delago. Cassidy, though, is going to go for 4th, and Michael, yeah, around the outside on turn number 4. Beautiful move down the outside line, and Frankie Monty and Ruben are having elbows out as well in the background, and Yuri forces down the inside line of Ferradura, nearly getting the move done. Is he going to force it down the inside of turn 8? No. Ivo holds the lead. Sen second, Yuri in third, half a lap to go.
Yeah. Also, those top 3 were on the exact same energy level pretty much, so there's nothing in between those guys. I think they're gonna remain as they are. So Yuri, he's almost trying to do a NASCAR move here, just doing a bump and run, but it ain't gonna work as Monty and Ruben are still fighting in the background.
Is Sen holding up Ivo, holding up Yuri to get Ivo the win here? 1.7 seconds, not going to be enough, but Ivo ran the final corner toward the line. Yuri and Sen, though, are going to have a real set 2 toward the line. Is Yuri going to try and pass Sen? No! It's Sen by 400ths of a second. Yuri there in second in the end. Ivo was the one that came across the line to win. Finished there, I think, down in 5th in the end, if I'm not mistaken. We'll run through the full grid order in just a second. Drive the day, all about in-game fans. Well, there's only one man, and he pops up every week. It's Ballboy.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's very deserved. Starting from, what was it, P18 to finish P5, if I saw it correctly. Really great race from him.
Really good race from him indeed, and it is the top step of the podium for the Ferrari man, Sen. Oh, how on earth Yuri wouldn't risk that down in the infield at turn number 8. I thought he might have got the move done there. And that hesitation, I think, and that slight drift the lap before, maybe have just cost him the race win here. But it is, of course, Sen out on top. A fantastic end to the F3 season here in FRL. F4, by the way, still going on at this stage. I think they're only on lap 28 or 29. Sen, though, out on top. 400ths of a second. If that straight was any longer, Yuri would have got him, quite simply. Michael there in third, deserved it. Ivo in the end is 4th. Good drive from him regardless. Ballboy, though, 18th up to 5th, gets my drive of the day vote by an absolute country mile. Cleanest racer out on track. and he gets 5th position for in the race as well. But he gets driver of the day vote from me. Cassidy there in 6th, Jesse there in 7th, so near 16th to 7th challenge. Not too bad from Jesse in the end. Frankie Monty there in 8th, JB there in 9th, and Ruben ran off the top 10, and those all pick up points because we had 10 DNFs as well. Little Brookie, Mr. Merckx, Dan Messi, Scar, Rackler Dakes, GTA, Arise, Steve and Van Dongen, all DNFing or getting disqualified in the case of Van Dongen, Sen, Yuri and Michael though. Top 3, shall we try and get them in?
Sure. Let's try. I'm gonna invite them if I have them on the friends list. I'm not sure if I do.
If you don't, I will try and add them if that is the case.
Let's see. No, I don't think I have them added, so if you could take care of that.
Who was this again?
It was FRL, Sen, Yuri,
Sen, Yuri, Michael, right. Go on to play together and see if I can add them all. That'll be good. Oh, there's not even a play together for tonight. That's terrible. I'm going to have to type in their names. Absolute nightmare. But great race, obviously, here. F4, by the way, they're on lap 29 and 36. I think they've just had a safety car. Zook leads the way, Ignala second. Kostya now in 3rd. Many penalties for them. And at the minute, Evil Zook, the one that leads the way, is Pablo Juarez, has just picked up a penalty as well. And he's down there in 8th position as a result. And I've just seen how many penalties he's got. It's got 28 seconds worth of penalties. How on earth has somebody decided to do that around Brazil? That's mad. Absolutely mad. How do you get 28 seconds worth of penalty? Unless it's 5 seconds and 10 seconds in there, I can understand. But, come on. 28 seconds worth of penalties? Oh, man alive. Who's the top 3, by the way? I'm still on. Trying to type. Is it FAC, Michael? Or Fez? Fez Michael, yeah. And I've spelled Michael wrong as well, so Mac. Oh, I'm deleting deleting random characters here. IEL. Oh yeah, I've got him. He's already online. And 3rd one was. Yeah, get Yuri in. Apologies about going on a massive blue screen here, guys. Hope you enjoyed that, though. As a result, Yuri is asking for an interview, so I'm going to try and add them, if I can, to the party. I think I've added all 3 by first time, so that is quite good. So hopefully we'll get the top 3 in. And Yuri mentioned as well, yes, there is interviews coming, definitely. And, yeah, shall we review that race, Hawk, before everyone gets here, obviously? Unlucky for a few, quite good up towards the top end of the field. I mean, it's the final race you come to expect, I think, in FRL.
Pretty much.
Dare say, I don't think we need to say any more about that, to be honest. Out on track. But yeah, F3 obviously ending here tonight. Yuri has managed to join us, though, for an interview. Not sure if the other 2 are going to join. I haven't interviewed them before, so maybe not the case. But I'm going to go to the interview with Yuri. Yuri, you finished there in P2. It must have been absolute tragic scenes running across the line there. You were 400th of a second close. Do you think you would have got him if the race was any longer?
I don't know that, but I think because I pitted to the mediums, but then there were like 2 safety cars, and I was like, yeah, well, there goes my strategy, because if there weren't those safety cars and virtual safety cars, I probably could have got Evo and Sen on track. But at the end, yeah, it was very close, but still, I mean, it's the last race of the season. It's a great way to end it at such, yeah, how do you say it?
Such a good track?
Yeah, no, such a minor difference, let's say it like that, between me and Sen.
Yeah, I think it was unlucky. I think, honestly, I honestly think it all came down to that drift that you had coming out of turn, I think it was turn 10 if I'm not mistaken. That drift was awesome, by the way. I think that cost you the time to obviously try and run on the back of Sen. Talk us through that race though, because safety cars, did they actually help you or hinder you in that race?
Yeah, more hinder, because, yeah, well, the first one didn't really, was pretty good for me actually, but I saw people pitting to the softs, and I was on the medium, so I was like, wait, I did do the wrong call, should have gone to softs, but yeah, Reckler was behind me, so I was like, alright, because he was, I think he was driving on the mediums as well, old mediums, and I was on new, and all those guys were behind Reckler, so I was like, alright, this could be pretty good, and then he crashed on the safety car, so then I was like, okay, this is not good, but no, I don't think the safety cars really helped me, but also, yeah, it didn't really affect my race, only that my strategy at the end was a bit, yeah, turned over.
Yeah, so a bit like a 50-50 sort of thing. You didn't love it, you didn't hate it, to be honest. I think we certainly get that from you there. Hawk, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions? If he's here.
I am here. Sorry. Do I have any questions for him? No, I don't. I'm sorry.
You don't. I will ask you one going into the next game. Obviously, well, no, I'll ask you two, in fact. First of all, are you signing up for next season?
Of course, of course.
Good. And expectations going on to the new game, because obviously you finished, I think, P3 in the standings as a result tonight. That P3 must bore you with a bit of confidence going into the new game.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's always good to have a good last season or a season before a new game. But I've seen many videos, of course, or clips from YouTubers on the game. But it looks like it's going to be a bit harder than this year with the items and all that sort of things. But I can't really say anything. I haven't practiced or anything on the new game, so. But I'm looking forward to the next game, and hopefully some good seasons and races over there then.
Yeah, hopefully so. I've got an online services error for F1. That's not great. Yeah, that is pretty much all from me. Go and enjoy evening, Yuri.
Yes, and thank you for the comms.
Very welcome indeed. I've got very sore throat after tonight's action, certainly in Brazil. We'll move on, because we missed him, to the man who finished in P1, of course, and that was Sen. And Sen, first question, did you feel you were going to be caught to the line there? Yeah, and obviously, as a result, you finished in P1. Is that that's your second win of the season, I think? You had a one in Azerbaijan. Second win of the season. Must be happy. I'm glad you are. I think as well, if I'm not mistaken, I think you've got fourth in the championship. Yeah, Sodiamona didn't show. It was a 22-point gap. You picked up 25 points. Yeah, you finished fourth. And outscored them by 3 points, I believe, in terms of the championship. So well done on that. Talk us through the race, though, because those safety cars, were they a help or were they a hinder? Yeah. Yeah, and obviously that made you win that race, of course, here in F3. Hawk, I'm going to come across to you. Any questions?
No. I just can't come up with any questions today. I'm very tired.
It's that
don't know
brain,
anybody
the brain's
questions on
getting
him.
to him.
Yeah.
He's tired, bless him. He is tired. I am going to ask you one more question, Sen. Next game, what is your expectation? Hopefully so, and hopefully online works on that game certainly as well. Sen, go and enjoy your evening. You are very welcome indeed. Jesse, by the way, saying we didn't hear Sen, unfortunately. I don't think we could all hear him, to be honest, but we try to get through that interview as best we can. He was just summing up his thoughts there, saying he was very happy that he won the race, second one of the season, of course, and he's looking forward and has good expectations, of course, for the new game going forward. We move on to the man who finished in P3 as well, and that was Fez Michael. And Michael there, finishing in P3, must be happy with your result, because I think that might be your first podium of the season.
No, it's my second podium. In Silverstone, I finished P2.
Finished in P. Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah.
You did. I wasn't there for Silverstone, so it's like a duck taken to water, I think, with that, to be honest. But talk us through it, because obviously that was certainly, from my perspective, your best drive of the season.
Yeah, it was a good drive. Yeah, didn't really practice, but a bit more than usual. And yeah, my pace on soft was terrible. So I pitted early to the mediums, because I know my pace on mediums is normally pretty decent. So yeah, gained some time with that, and yeah, then the safety car came, and I thought, yeah, softs might be the best tire, because you can easily make it to the end. And then yeah, there came a few more safety cars, so it would make it easy to the end. And yeah, with a bit of luck with penalties, I finished P3.
You did indeed. I think it was 0.4 of a second in the end between you and Ivo in terms of the penalties in the end. I'm going to run you through a few stats from your season as well. You've only had 6 races in FRL F3. Your 4th finish overall. Your 3rd in terms of point scoring. 2 retirements. As a season as a whole, are you proud of the season, or do you think you could have done a hell of a lot better?
Yeah, this race and Silverstone were good, but yeah, I think the other races I drive, yeah, they could be a lot better, but I didn't practice because I didn't have motivation for the game actually, and this is literally the only league I'm driving. But yeah, the new game is almost coming, and this game is a bit dead. So yeah, didn't have a lot of motivation to practice.
Yeah, which I think is a common theme, I think, from league racing, certainly. I know I run TTML as well, and many drivers have complained, obviously, about the game, losing interest. I think it's that time of the year where you're just looking forward to the new game. You just want to get your hands on it. And speaking of the new game, first of all, are you going to be signing up next season?
Yeah, for sure.
Fantastic. And like I've asked the other two, what's your expectations for next season? A few more wins?
I hope so, but yeah, I think the cars are a lot difficult to drive. So yeah, I hope the car's handling is good for me. But yeah, I have to practice a lot, and then I hope I became fast.
I hope you become fast as well. It'd be very interesting to see how everyone takes, I think, to the new game. That is for sure. Michael, go and enjoy your evening.
Thank you.
You are very welcome indeed, and that rounds off the interviews tonight for FRL F3. Big thank you, of course, to Yuri, to Sen, and to Michael for the interviews. Much appreciated, of course, as always. F4, by the way, just came to the end. If you don't want to listen to the results, walk away from your microphones now. It is Kostya who took the win, Zook there in second, Ignalis there in third in terms of the top 3, and Kostya won in the end. Fastest lap, pole position, 0.7 of a second the gap in the end over Zook. Ignalis there in third as well. Very good racing in F4, clearly better than I think what we got here in F3, but still, very good race from our perspective here as well. And Hawk, I'm going to come across to you. Final thoughts and overall driver of the day.
I think driver of the day, I think you and me both agree on Ballboy, making that recovery from P18. Final thoughts on the season in general? Obviously, I didn't commentate all of it. The few races that I did commentate were very entertaining. But a lot of guys still have to clean up their driving. Hopefully they will in the next season. If they manage to clean up their driving, I think we're gonna have one hell of a season on a new game.
Yeah, I think so as well. Definitely Bullboy for Drive of the Day as well. And of course, we kind of go into our anniversary as well on F1 22 because I'm just going to exclusively announce this on stream. It is actually the 10th F1 game cycle that FRL has been run on consecutively. I remember that because I was signing up for F1 2012, the league that Bullboy was setting up on there, and 10 years later, look where we are now. I think it's terrific how far we've came on, I think, in terms of FRL. Of course, more action to come as, of course, we go on to the new game in Season 15 overall of Fantari Racing League, and you're going to be seeing some new equipment as well on the FRL F1 end. Not tomorrow night, but in the future as well, and hopefully a good race, or good races to come, of course, on the new season as everyone gets the grip with the new game. That is all, I think, from ourselves, myself and Hawk. Of course, more action to come tomorrow night. FRL F2 is old Stephen and Bullboy taking you through the action, of course, and that is at 7 PM UK time. And FRL F1, of course, the gloves are off. Are we going to see Montana versus Tom Robbo versus Jensen versus anyone else that might decide to come out of the fact? It's going to be a thrilling race, I'm sure, in Brazil. You can tune in for that, of course, along with me and Jesse at 7 PM UK time tomorrow night as well. Big thank you to everyone who has covered, of course, F3 this season, and to all of the drivers who have obviously participated in F3. You can give yourselves a well-earned break, I think, now, and look forward to the new game in just over a week's time. And from myself and Hawk, a big thank you to everyone that has participated, I think, this season in FRL as a whole. Not only the admins, the stewards who make the league run, it's the drivers that keep us on our toes, make us work as hard as we do, and without drivers there wouldn't be a league. It's as simple as that. And I think with that, thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye.